everybody, welcome to can't fucking Picardly wait for disco home companion Star Trek resignation. I resign. I'm done.
Oh no.
Yeah, and people were asking for it. Well, you asked for it, or hey, are you guys gonna do anything for Lower Decks? And here we are. The people spoke, and no, they did, Sean. Through the magic of podcasting, you can't see Sean shaking his head, but fuck you, Sean. They did. People asked.
Sorry, I'm not on the Discord.
Not even there. Hundreds, thousands of people ask me.
All right.
All your emails. No, but no, a few people asked. Are we going to be?
I got a letter
about
the other day about it.
Really?
No.
Are you okay?
No.
And okay, good for you.
I saw some semaphore about it.
Oh, I thought it got an email. But.
Oh no. I was joking and meant like a physical letter.
Okay. And,
man, we're
Sean
just off to a
got
great
checked
start here.
I'm on. Yeah. I've been podcasting for so good. It's just come so second nature to me.
Look, I think we can all agree it's been a while since we've podcasted like this. We're all a little bit rusty.
Clearly, it's been a while. You haven't been introduced. They don't know who you are.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
I mean, I've been shit talk. The Kickers of L's Patreon. Me and James and Hugh still talk, but we just shoot the shit, and so it's very informal, like this here. But hey, everybody, it's me. It's your old pal Wade. And yes, like I said, you asked about if we're doing Lower Decks, and we are, and it's the same crew that did the Picard show, Can't Picardly Wait, which you might think is the name of this podcast. Maybe we'll change it. We've had so much discussion on that front. Anyways, I'm still talking. Yeah, it's me, Wade, and with me is Glen.
Hello.
Hall. Glen Hall, that's his name, yeah.
Yes, that is true. That is my name.
And Sean Parada.
What's up?
Hey. And, yeah. I know these guys from my...
real life.
From real life. From the UCB, like all these fuckers on this show. So, hey, let's talk about what Lower Decks, the newest Star Trek from the Bad Robot new Trek that everybody hates so much.
I didn't even think about the UCB like connection with everyone on this show like that. For some reason that I didn't.
All of them. Yeah, this is which is probably why it feels like a shitty sketch show sometimes. But
for better
or worse, it feels like
better for. All right, so let's get into it. This is this is like Lower Decks, the first Star Trek cartoon since the animated series in like 72 or whenever that came out.
So obviously, Glenn Status Report Hall has seen the animated series. We get it. Wade, you've seen the animated series, some of it.
I used to watch the animated series. Used to come on after the Monkeys on Nickelodeon in the early 90s.
Wow, hey.
And it would come on, and I'd say this cartoon sucks, and I'd change the channel.
Well,
so I've seen some of it, but not in a while.
Well, unlike Wade, I'm committed and have seen 100% of Star Trek the Animated Series.
No, Glenn, you should be committed. You aren't yet.
Oh, no. Fuck off.
Hey!
I feel like if I went back and rewatched it now, I like, hey, I'm a piece of shit Star Trek podcaster. I haven't watched everything, but I do hear it. It's as good as, a lot of.
Does it have the same manic energy? Is it as
this
irreverent?
Cartoon? No.
So yeah, I would say, like, honestly, I think I said this back during Camp Picardly Wait, but I really liked the animated series. TOS has a lot of really great episodes, and of course is like a formative piece of popular culture and science fiction. But the truth behind that is a very large percentage of TOS episodes are very close to, I won't go as far to say unwatchable, but very difficult to watch. Not the smallest reason being that this was, in the 60s when hour-long dramas were very close to an actual hour-long, and of course we've now come back to that with the streaming wars and all the streaming shows, but just for a lot of those TOS episodes, yeah, it just took way too long. And so the animated series, the first thing that I noticed was that it just 22-minute episodes, the pacing just felt so much better, and the
because it's for children, they have smaller attention.
Yeah, it was like a Saturday morning cartoon,
God,
but it actually
those tiny brains.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't spend 25 minutes on one little nitpicky detail.
Right, exactly.
Of some show you watched. Sorry.
Got meta about that, but like really,
I was about to save it for status up. Oh, sorry. No,
Glenn, was your favorite part of this episode the end of it, where she literally just says Star Trek things?
I did notice that, and I did appreciate that.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah. I noticed it and thought of you.
Well, since we recorded the other podcast, there's been the advent of that meme from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Leo pointing at a TV, and it's
yeah. I recognize that.
Yeah, like that's me.
Oh, sure.
That's me every time there's like a Star Trek reference now because
Yeah. That was you every time a Batman reference happened. That was you every time.
Right, exactly.
As if you didn't have enough like infuriating nerdy gatekeeping to do.
That was you every
another.
That was you every time somebody sneezed and accidentally said a name from the Wheel of Time.
Hey, they just announced a new cast for that. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it.
We're not going to let you talk about it. I will mute you.
I know.
I will come to your home and throw away your computer.
Why did I agree to do this show?
I don't know. I know why I did. It's to do this.
but real quick, in all seriousness, I wanted to just say about the animated series, like, obviously, yeah, they quickened it up to make it a Saturday morning TV show, but like it really worked towards the show's benefit because you had these pretty classic Star Trek stories. Like they weren't substantially different in like tone or ambition than TOS, but because one, it was animated and they didn't have to worry about budget or makeup or any of that shit. And then again, the pacing of just a 22-minute episode, you have I think there's like 22 episodes of the animated series total, I think. But you have a batch of like really, for the most part, solid sci-fi stories that are told in like a quick, snappy way and are super entertaining for the most part.
This is sort of the Orville argument, right? Like this is kind of, that like if you like take yourself a little bit less seriously and you put like a hard time constraint on it, you can tell like some good like sci-fi stories, like with some like dumb whatever jokes, but like but ultimately like you this can be done is sort of like what people are like, look it's why isn't Star Trek the ones doing it? Why is the Orville doing it? So they're like, we can look we have our own irreverent jokey thing, and we'll do it animated because we'll do it animated.
Oh, I literally, I was just going to say, and that's what I hope to see from this show long term. I know it's primarily a comedy, but like, there's opportunities to tell some good like Trek stories too.
Oh, they will.
Yeah, I was thinking as I was making this shit up off the top. I guess to start out, just just general impressions, general quick impressions and thoughts about the show overall. But then I should have known that Glenn would do a big 10-minute talk about an old show that he watched. So
I brought it up.
I'm so sorry. That's me being such an asshole.
I do apologize. I brought it up. I put the ball on the tee and then let him deliver a fucking screed about how the ball has been on the tee in the past. So that's.
But it was fucking relevant. It was relevant.
I apologize.
Okay, but so yeah, what was your that counts as your general impressions of the show, or do you have more, Glenn?
No. That's it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk too much.
I mean, did you like it?
I did. I liked it.
That's it. You're done. Shut up.
Good. All right.
Okay.
God damn it.
That's all I
know. Sean, the guy that doesn't know shit about Star Trek or care to.
Not interested.
What were your feelings about this show, other than it was like a bad sketch show at times? Apparently, something you just said.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny. I thought it was funny. Some of there's some jokes that got me. There's some good stuff. Overall, is this Star Trekky at all? Like, is this?
Yeah, well, that's what got me on it. I ended up watching it because I was so happy to have a Star Trek show that came out that I didn't fucking have things that
Right.
just drove me crazy or that were just fun
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
I could enjoy, and without like, and then for all my I don't give a shit about Star Trek, do whatever the fuck you want. I do hate a lot of the Discovery, the tonal like shifts.
Yeah.
Not the tonal, and just the design and everything, and just kind of negating and saying this didn't. Who cares? Give us the Klingons are hairless now, and they're stupid, and we're changing everything. That's like a lot of, and then just making up new continuity and just shoehorning it in, just kind of really pissed me off. As much as like the nerd in me in the back of my mind, and then just it just being bad story is the biggest thing. But then this, I watched it and I was like, it still seemed to get the overall ideas behind Star Trek, but doing it through a different, like, okay, it's like we're just doing a sitcom, but we're doing it in the Star Trek universe,
Yeah.
but we're keeping the universe intact, which
Right.
which Discovery didn't feel like it did. It felt like it just
No.
like, hey, the universe just changed, but it's still the same one because we told you it's the same one.
Right.
That was stupid. I hated. They're like, look, this man said we will never speak of the Star Trek of the Discovery, the USS
yeah.
Discovery, and therefore in the whole future of Star Trek,
I
no
just
one
wanna-
has ever or will ever say the words USS Discovery.
I
Right.
I just want to add an addendum onto that just to remind everyone that on top of that, Spock specifically says that he will never mention Michael in other
Yeah.
people's company
right.
ever
Yes,
again.
his sibling. He says,
Right.
I will never bring up that I had a sibling.
And just like then it was just empty platitudes towards Star Trek ideals and whatever. Though this, for all the jokes, it fits, like the nerd in me saw how it fit into, like, oh, there's these idealistic characters, but they get to keep their idealism to an extent. Like,
Yeah.
the main character that's the Rick to the Morty, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
We should talk about Rick and Morty at some point, I guess, in regards to this.
Yeah.
But
It's
like,
hard to ignore.
yeah, the idealism that everybody has of they just want to do the right thing. The Star Trek ideology isn't really broken in this. To me, it felt like everything you could do in a cartoon, you can basically do in Star Trek anyway. Like, oh, in the cold open, he gets cut to the bone with a batleth, but like, oh, that's like cartoonish violence. But hey, you can just go to the fucking, you'd get a rub a laser on it and you're healed. So you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then like the cyborg character's kind of dumb idealism about the job. And I'm just so excited about everybody's excitement about the warp core. That's like what Star Trek characters in TNG are like, you know. But
That's funny.
yeah. So like their dumb idealism is like a symptom. It's a part of the setting. It's not just like, I'm just like, oh, it's just this idealistic claptrap. Like, oh, that's part of Star Trek. And then you have the sardonic, but following the rules. It subverts the Star Trek idealism well enough, but the right way for a Lower Deck show to be, to where like, hey, it's not all about just prestige and being the hotshot to get ahead, which is, you know, in Manu's Trekonomics books, it's like, oh, it's a prestige economy. It's like, oh, but you know, they're still in it to do the right thing, and you know, that kind of idealism is, I don't know, it's nice. But most of all, it was just like, oh, I'm not angry at the show at the end of it, and thank God.
Right, at the end of the day, like a low stakes Star Trek that isn't, as far as I can tell, like constantly paying homage or winking to like some other Star Trek something. It just feels like a much easier watch for people like you.
Well,
Right.
And
There's winks to Star Trek throughout the whole thing, but
Of
it's just
course.
like, not like, it's not, he was a friend of mine, was like, oh, we know about Spock or whatever.
Right,
Blah,
sure.
blah, yeah.
Well, I'll admit, when Mariner is swinging the batless at the beginning of the episode, she says Worf several times, and
Oh, yeah.
I was a little apprehensive about that because I was like, oh shit, is this going to be a show where just they fucking, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I haven't seen the whole thing, but like I saw the first couple seasons, like that show, at least early on,
It got good after Civil War.
It did.
Yeah, and like the early seasons, at least, it was just constantly like, oh, is this related to Iron Man, Tony Stark, and just like, you know, really labored,
Yeah.
like
Right.
constant reminders.
But the Enterprise crew is like that's the flagship. Everybody knows who the head guy is. Worf's like one of the only Klingons in Starfleet, so they know about him.
Well, and I'll admit, I was also, when I started watching the episode, I was not 100% clear on when this was taking place, and then I read up, I was like, okay, it's in between Nemesis and Picard. Perfect. Like,
right.
Exactly the period you should set it in. It's nice and undefined.
I agree.
Don't you get it, Sean? Yeah, Sean.
I don't know.
Sean knows.
I don't know what Nemesis is.
It's after
the last TNG movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
So Data is dead.
Data's dead, and Tom Hardy showed up, and everybody wants to forget it.
What?
Yeah.
Tom Hardy.
He's a clone of Picard. It's dumb.
It's some real.
I don't want to know. I'm not interested.
There's dune buggies involved. Everybody's mad at the dune buggy scenes. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's Nemesis in Resident Evil.
Yeah.
If only there was a Star Trek movie where Nemesis for Resident Evil shows up and just fucking wastes a starship.
Yeah, Nemesis is fucked up, man.
Yeah.
I got to play that remake.
Yeah, I haven't played it. I think I know you
great.
but I think both are too scary for me.
Yeah.
All right, we've talked about this before, but we'll save it later.
So yeah, I don't know. I forgot all my notes that I had for the show, but I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought it was real fun, and yeah, like Star Trek, I think is at home in the animated format.
Right. There's a cat alien,
just like in the original.
Yeah. There's a lot of Mike McCann knows his shit. Like I read a whole lot of the criticism for the pilot episode. They're all mad that it's treating it not without the gravitas that Discovery did.
Not everything can have gravitas.
I know.
Also, Discovery sucks.
It sucks so bad, or it's like, it doesn't have the story hook, or it's like, I don't know what these people are talking about, because Discovery's story was bad. It was stupid. And they're like, but then they introduced Burnham, who was such a great character. And it's like, no, she wasn't. And this one is technically the most diverse Starfleet crew that we've ever had. It's cartoon, so they can have all these aliens. But, Mariner's a much more interesting black woman lead character, except she's not the lead. It's a ensemble than Burnham is. I understand all these characters right out the bat. That's the other thing I liked about it. They're archetypes.
Right, and even when Mariner immediately annoyed me, and I was like, this might be like a lot over the course of a whole show. I'm like, okay, like I get these characters, and I want to hang out with them.
Right. Yeah.
I'm down. They're character hooks. If not a story hook, fucking fine. Who gives a fucking shit? It's a fucking Star Trek cartoon. But the character hooks are definitely there.
Right, yeah. And the characters seem very they know exactly who these characters are from the beginning. Because it's a sitcom. They're going to be...
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
They're probably not going to change that much. Because it's a sitcom's reset every time.
Fucking the lead guy's name is, I imagine he'll become
Boimler.
More like buttoned down as it goes,
Sure.
And that's it. That's all that's gonna change.
And it's like you're saying, Wade, that's one of the advantages of it being in the sitcom and animated format is that, like, you don't have to spend so much time on, gravitas and like, what about these giant arcs we got to do? Like, when you drop the pretense, I think this will actually free them up to tell interesting stories still. Like, even with the trappings of comedy and sitcoms and animation, like, I think that there's a potential here.
Yeah, like I was saying, Mike McCann is a big Star Trek nerd. He wrote for Rick and Morty and Solar Opposites. But, like, he got started before he was writing on Rick and Morty. I think he had a Twitter that blew up. He had this TNG Season 8 Twitter, which was, like, Twitter famous. It was a big Twitter account. But it was just, like, it was just premises for episodes of a imaginary season 8 of the Next Generation. So it's
Seinfeld
like
2000,
right? Yeah, exactly what I was thinking of.
It's all things that could ostensibly be an episode of this show, almost, like, except without Riker, but like gets his dick stuck in a blah 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 or something, tricorder accident. That's not. They were all better tweets than that, but they could do that shit here. And the guy knows Star Trek well enough.
Well, I guess we should also just briefly summarize the episode itself. I mean, not a whole lot happens beyond introducing the characters, but...
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Briefly.
Yeah, of course, briefly. So, I mean,
of course.
God damn it. So I mean, the crux of it is you're introduced to all the core characters, which we have Mariner, the main character played by Tawny Newsome. You have Boimler, the nerd played by Jack Quaid. Both of them are human, and then you have Tendi, the Orion played by Noel Wells, and then Rutherford, the cyborg played by Eugene Cordero, who is fantastic. So you're introduced to all of them, of course, and the main two plots are this second contact situation with a new race. I forget if they even named
it doesn't
the
matter.
aliens, but
They
They do. They named them.
Okay.
I don't remember the name because I don't care, but they named them.
I usually have been writing this stuff down on my notes, but I didn't for
It's
this
okay
one
that
for
you
some
did.
reason.
Let's move on.
But anyway, so the main plot is they go down to the second contact situation, and for some reason the biofilter on the transporter does not catch a foreign pathogen after the.
I can tell you the reason. Plot reasons, Glenn. It's
Well,
plot
of course,
reasons.
plot reasons, but that was something I wrote down. It's like, why didn't the biofilter catch it?
That's not included in a summary. Keep going.
Yeah,
That's
right.
not how you
That's-
do a summary.
Go.
Go.
So the Riker analog played by O'Connell, is it Jerry O'Connell? I forget his name, but
Yes, it's Jerry.
yes.
Yeah. The fat
And
kid from
so-
Stand By Me.
he brings back like essentially a zombie virus to the ship, and that causes chaos and mayhem. And the B plot throughout all this is Rutherford the cyborg has a date with someone who I believe was a Trill, but I wasn't 100% certain.
Yeah, she was Trill. That's fine.
Voiced
But
by Jessica McKenna of the Off Book podcast. Very good.
Oh, I didn't know. That's
okay.
fun. But yeah, so you have this which I really like this whole like date happening with
great.
with the backdrop
It's great.
of like
Yeah.
the A plot of a Star Trek episode.
That's
like,
great. It's great, like sci-fi human. It's exactly how you do that. It's
Like-
perfectly
right.
to a T.
Yeah,
And
the
that-
joke at the end is that he's more interested in
Yeah.
the ship, and like that's like, oh, he's a fucking Star Trek character,
Yeah.
like, dorking out
Right,
about this.
and then the new lady was like, "What? It did? Yeah, I agree with you. That's
yeah.
crazy." And it's like, boom, perfect.
All right.
These are like easy jokes, and they're perfect.
And that's when I knew I liked the show, is when they're on the date and it's going normally and like they're having like a normal date, and then the zombie outbreak happens in the background and they are completely nonplussed by it and just like jump into it as though
They're
this
truly
is not
concerned
insane.
at all. Yeah.
And I was like,
Yep.
this is exactly what a show like this should be doing, is like telling the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern type
Yep.
stories behind the typical Star Trek stuff.
one
And-
complaint I might have is, well, sorry, never mind.
Oh, and I mean, just for the rest of the summary is like
Is that it was a zombie plot? Like, come on,
Yeah.
Mike McCann. Like I said, he knows the Star Trek. He's good at doing creative shit. The zombie plot. It's like that's come on.
I didn't. That didn't
I want
bother
a
me.
little more. I want a little more sauce than that. But yeah, it's fine.
It's low hanging fruit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a standard enough like Star Trek trope of the virus gone wild on the ship that makes people act weird in some way. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're just getting through a pilot.
It's
know?
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
it did its point. Like, but like there
Yes.
was no. Yeah.
But beyond that, let's see, Mariner and Boimler are on the planet, and he's been told by the captain to keep an eye on her. Which, I mean, I thought this was telegraphed that Mariner and the captain were related in some way. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
wasn't
like she's
really a
obviously
twist.
right.
Yeah, not a huge twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, if they're not, then I guess I'm racist. But they obviously are.
Well, I didn't necessarily assume
Yeah.
that they were related at first for the same reasons. I didn't. 'cause
Glenn doesn't see color.
yeah. Oh,
No,
right, right.
no. But I knew that they were going to be connected somehow, and obviously the
Yes.
very obvious choice is that they are mother and daughter. But I wouldn't have been
The
surprised.
conversation with the father on the other ship is still good though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
that
still
was fun.
works. That's still fun.
And that's basically it. Boimler and Mariner have their own misadventure with like a giant spider on the planet. She gets them out of it, and the whole point of it establishing that she's this slacker, but who also is very competent at her job when she chooses to be. And then they reveal that the captain is Mariner's mom, and that's it. Quick.
No, it wasn't that quick. I do
I
think
meant the
Mariner.
episode itself. Fuck you.
Oh boy, neither. I do think Mariner definitely. I like that there is like you remember like Tilly. Everybody just tells Tilly how special and great and best she is, and I like that Mariner is like an obnoxious fuck up who tells you she's the best. It's like, okay, good, yeah.
Right.
This is like much more tolerable than like fucking Tilly, who seems fine, and
Right.
everybody just says how great she is.
Yeah. It's annoying. And then Mariner. I
I prefer, give me the Mariner treatment any day.
the the Mariner character seemed like a good subversion of it was a good Lower Decks character to be like,
Yeah.
you don't command, fuck command, this is where it is, and like, okay, it's fine. All the stuff explaining why the Lower Decks was important was like, okay, this is working on the show for me.
Yeah, you have to do it. They did it well. Yeah, I mean, that lead guy is a good, like, he has to be the nerd who's like, we are important.
The Wesley. You got your Wesley of the group.
Sure, gotta.
You got your Data and Geordi.
I don't even think it goes into. I guess so. If you have to do that.
If you had to map them to someone, and that's what I'm curious to see going forward is like, will they feel compelled to map these characters closely to ones we've seen before?
Well,
no, I mean, I feel like
how long until there's an episode where they are like the only ones left on the ship somehow, and they have to take over and run things.
I hope not. But yeah, I mean, the clear mapping is like Jerry O'Connell's character is the Riker. They've called that out. Like,
I think they have said that.
But the point is to tell these. Yeah. Except he's a little bit more of a Chad than Riker. Like
he's Riker if he was in a fraternity in college.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And these, like, hopefully, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about the show. I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it. I think there's like an instinct when you guys are talking about Star Trek to like find like paths to go down to like deeper thing. This is this and that's this, and it's like it's like a 20-minute cartoon pilot where like not that much happened. We met some guys. There was a big spider. The spider just like being vegetarian is great.
Yeah, that was great.
An herbivore. The milk being don't phase it, you'll spoil the milk. There is milk. Great. Wonderful. Yeah. This is just like good, solid joke writing.
Yeah.
That I'm very happy for. Just like
yeah.
Picard is like, even when Picard was fun, it was just like, for me personally, that thing's like a real slog. Like,
yeah.
And I mean,
well, because
it's the biggest slog I've ever seen because it's bad. But
right, Picard was a slug because, it wasn't great. It had its moments.
Yes,
but like everybody's so fucking depressed the whole time. Like,
right,
Jesus
everybody's so bummed, and it's such like a remember when things were great. Like Picard, like trying to make Picard great again, and like it's a real fucking bummer. And I'm just so glad to talk to you guys about content that isn't a bummer.
Right. Yeah. That was my biggest takeaway from this. I'm so glad to just be able to enjoy this and not have to. Yeah.
Again, it's Star Trek.
It's clearly the best of the new of all the new Trek. This is hands and far away the one that I've arguably say I think is good. And I can't really say that ultimately about any of the other two that we've seen so far.
Well, yeah. I did really like the Picard premiere. Like, I thought the first episode of Picard was really strong, and that kind of gave me higher hopes. Which I liked the first season overall, but like
I didn't hate it. That's as much as I could say. And like I can see, I was along for the ride for the most part, but I was a little disappointed ultimately.
The Picard pilot pulled me in, and I don't, that was like, so like where Discovery has obvious like echoes of other Treks, like. Picard is like a sequel to another Trek. So
right,
I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm into it. And then as it went on, I was like, I'm less into it.
The big criticisms as I've seen of this is like, it doesn't have the adventure of the other Treks. It's like, well, fuck off. It's like a comedy.
There's been one episode.
Yeah. And these are people that have gotten the screeners and watched 4 or 5 episodes, a lot of these critics. So I can't speak to all of them. As we record this, I will come out and say I've seen a few more episodes, and it's rather formulaic, but it's like it doesn't bother me as
but much. Again, that's the kind of benefit of the sitcom like procedural like mapping that it's going
who gives
with.
A shit?
Yeah, and it doesn't fuck up. Yeah, but like the ideals behind everything are still intact of what. So that's kind of where I'm like, it's a story in this world where these are the rules the world operates by, and these are the ideas in the world, but it's a different kind of story. And like, that's exactly what when Discovery was coming out, that was what I was looking for. Tell me a different kind of Star Trek story.
Right.
All this stuff, all the people, this is not my Star Trek. Like the whole time I've been like, fuck you. I don't care if it's not the same Star Trek, but like it keeps the soul of it or something about it is the same. I can see that it's the same universe or whatever. And even if they had changed the universe entirely, it wouldn't have made me mad if it were good. Like,
right, that's what. Yeah, I mean, a Trek that makes its own rules, like, yeah, great, good. We're in space. There aren't rules. The rules are different.
and they were so interested in upending all the rules that they thought that was more important than just like doing something. It was all chasing
Good.
prestige TV, and that's like
Yeah.
instead of trying to tell a good story ultimately.
Right, and then yeah, for this, let's just make a sitcom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitcoms are formulaic. If you like, and yeah, if you're not a fan of like sitcoms being formulaic, then you're not gonna like this sitcom. Like, then you're not gonna like it's a sitcom. They all are. If you're doing status report, do it now. I gotta go
Yeah.
to bed.
Okay. Well,
Wee
Sean,
woo, you're in.
Oh, he's looking it up.
Oh, now it's closed. I opened it. You closed it. So status report's over.
No,
See you next week. No.
You put a timer for 30 seconds because it's going to be real short. Overall percentage 45.49%. Full disclosure, I have not watched an episode of Star Trek since in between Lower Decks and I want to say March. I started watching Deep Space Nine, and I enjoyed everything I watched from it. But I think I got about 6 or 7 episodes in, and that was kind of the height of the isolation. And
Well, then what are you enjoying? Season 1 sucks. What?
I'll tell you what happened at the time was I decided
But then you had to you slowed DS9 slowed you down.
Yes, not for any like content reasons. Again, I liked what I saw so far of it. I could tell it's a solid show, and everything Wade has
Again,
told
why?
me.
No. What I've told you is that it sucks at the beginning. What are you talking about? I don't know why you think it's so solid.
I've enjoyed that despite what you said.
It has its moments.
And knowing that it gets better, yeah, that's fine. But what happened is I decided I needed a little break from Star Trek as I marathoned all of TNG, and I was a little Star Trek out. But I'm coming back to it. I'm going to start watching Deep Space Nine again. I got distracted by a playthrough of the modern Final Fantasy canon, but I'm coming back.
You don't half-ass anything, do you, Glenn?
Well, that's arguable, but I try. But wee woo.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, there you go.
All
So,
right.
bottom line.
I was
Slow clap for a quick
brief
status
report.
report.
The return. I was asking if DS9 slowed you down because you had to listen to a shitty recap podcast.
Fuck you, Sean. Fuck you.
I did listen to the ROA pilot after I watched the premiere, and that was fun.
Oh, you only listened to the pilot. You didn't wish to listen to the rest of them? Fuck you too. What?
You admitted you listened to episodes and did not listen to the ROA.
Well, and here's the real kicker. I listened to it at double speed.
You
This is fucked up. This
can't believe we let you on the Discord.
Kick him out of the Discord.
If anybody else want to get on this Discord, I guess they can join the Patreon. Oh, that's what I was doing there.
I'll join the Discord and ask like who Spock is.
That's yeah. I think James and you would love nothing more than to not talk about Star Trek on there. But
who's Kirk? What is? That was fun about the end of the episode when she went on that list, because I did not know who most of those people were.
Yeah, and it's it's good that they are able to kind of have it both ways. Like, it's fun for newbies and it's fun for the veterans.
Yeah, they're poking fun at the name a bunch of characters.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, and it's great. Yeah,
there is a joke. There is a joke I wanted to point out that I think only mostly Trekkies, maybe other people could get it, but at one point. I think it's Boimler mentions a department called Cetacean Ops, and it's like, oh, that has to be a Voyage Home reference because the whales. And then later in the episode, they explicitly reference the whales. I think in that part where Mariner is talking about all the adventures of the Enterprise. So I appreciated that there's
It's full of those. Yeah, there's nothing. And that's the question I have, I guess, with Sean. So how you enjoyed it not giving a shit about Star Trek? Because that's a lot of the things of the criticisms are like, this is a mediocre Rick and Morty ripoff. If you don't like Star Trek, where do people gonna get from this?
No, that's stupid. That's a dumb critique. Because I came out of it knowing that this wasn't true, but having my honest assessment was, well, there weren't really a lot of Star Trek references in that. Whereas because obviously there are, but they're not on the in Picard. I watch it. I'm like, well, that's a fucking thing I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't know what that. Why would anybody watch this if they haven't seen old Star Trek? Because I don't know what that is. I watched this cartoon and I'm like, I don't know if there was something, I don't know what it is. And when there is something like blatant, it's just her listing names. And I'm like, this is funny because this is what I make fun of my friends for doing.
Yeah.
Like, this is great. I hate nerds like her. Like, so this is fantastic. But I just thought it was a good, like, if a sitcom has like good jokes and fun like storylines that are self-contained, I'm in. Like, that's all. I don't give a shit that it's Star Trek. I give a shit that like the characters are fun and it's funny enough. Like, that's it. I think people who are like Star Trek critics are like, this isn't good because it's not Star Trek. Or like, if you don't like Star Trek, why would you watch this? Cannot separate the fact that people would be like, I don't care that this isn't Star Trek. It can just be funny.
Right.
So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. And it's more Star Trek than the others.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, again, I think the idea that it has sort of like gone into this again because it's a comedy, because it's a sitcom, and because it's animated, like it's able to kind of free itself from a lot of the pretense of like, you know, recent history of Star Trek. And ironically, I think that will make it a better Star Trek show, because like again, the original animated series was able to tell, and this is partly because they had like a bunch of really great sci-fi writers
They did. They got like Larry Niven, the Ringworld. They got like famous sci-fi authors to work on the show.
Yeah,
too.
like legit names.
The same way they got
sci-fi.
Harlan Nelson. Yeah.
Yeah. Harlan, he definitely wrote at least one episode. And yeah, but like again, removed from the trappings of live action, and it was able to, you know, kind of expand what Star Trek could be. And then I think this show, I won't like put as lofty of an ambition on it, but it does have a chance to tell really good Star Trek stories, and I'm excited to see where that goes. Yeah, I really liked it. I think this is a super promising show.
I think I think we're all probably hoping, maybe I'm wrong, feel free to tell me, but like that it can do what Trek has decided it doesn't do anymore, which is just be episodic. Do the thing that sitcoms do, where you serialize the emotional arc. That's it. That's
right.
What, you know, like the way these characters engage with each other and like feel about each other will change over the course of the season. But just make these self-contained stories. Like that's, I like Star Trek, like the little like old Star Trek I've seen where it's just like the Starship Enterprise. And at the end, problem solved. Let's see what we do next time. And I'm like, fucking dope. That was a fun journey, and now I don't have to care.
And honestly, Sean, that's what the original animated series is. It's just totally episodic.
That's what everybody expected Star Trek to be up until they redid everything.
Yeah, well,
that's what people complain about the new Star Trek, but also whatever.
Right.
Well, and that kind of brings us to at least the only new confirmed CBS show is what's it called? Strange New Worlds with Pike and Spock. Number one, which
I'm dubious about when any of these are ever going to come out because productions are shut down.
Right. But
aren't they making CBS All Access like Paramount Plus or something?
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Yeah. No comment. Yeah.
Fucking love it. Oh my god.
They've already got a lot more of that Viacom content on there than they used to, so they're
when I re-signed up for CBS All Access, I noticed like, oh, there's more stuff here than there was last time. And but yeah, like there's also a rumored 7 of 9 show. I believe the Giorgio Section 31 show is still at least in development, if not actively.
This is happening.
Yeah, it's confirmed more than the 7 of 9 show is. But
right. Yeah, the 7 of 9 show I think is strictly a rumor at this point.
Everything's up in the air, so who knows? Yeah. They want, so far all they got is Star Trek, so they'll keep spitting them out until Paramount Plus starts doing something else. Because, they're stuck with it right now. That's the only game in town for them to get.
Numbers, I guess what I want.
But I don't want to I don't want to talk too long about the streaming game.
I was just going to say that, like, if they really do want to have like this suite of Star Trek shows, I do hope that they, at the very least, do some quality control where it's like, okay, Strange New Worlds is going to cover these bases, Picard's going to cover these bases, Discovery's going to cover these bases, and like the live action shows are not all just going to be, navel gazing, prestige chasing, isn't Star Trek serious? Like, I hope Strange New Worlds is like an episodic, fun sci-fi show, and Discovery can be the...
They've said... Kurtzman has come out to say Strange New Worlds will be to bring the hope and back to Star Trek that
All
they
right.
that they
seems-
said was always there in all these other ones. Yeah, and every time but no, it's all about. Yeah,
Right.
it's PR speak, but it's gonna be
Sure, but no, but it's funny. It's like it's almost like a criticism of himself. It's like it's gonna bring hope back, which I guess I took away.
right.
Right.
But
It's just like this. We're giving we're pandering to what the fans want, which is sometimes you shouldn't pander, but also you shouldn't do the shit you were doing either. So whatever. I can't.
You want?
I'm not eager to see a Pike and Spock show. Don't get me wrong, but like,
I'm open to it. I just hope I don't want a Rise of Skywalker situation. I don't want something that is just every single thing they think we want to see. And I think it's important to have your Last Jedi's, the things that like challenge you and subvert expectations. But there's room in the middle.
That's Star Wars.
yeah.
This is Star Trek.
We'll talk about whether that happens when we have any other shows to talk about,
Sure,
which is
sure.
up in the air.
But,
We'll know 23 weeks from now or whenever fucking Discovery
Right.
goes off
Fuck
the air.
that. Nope. Shut the fuck up. Final thoughts. Give your final thoughts. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, way to keep us on track, Sean.
Yeah, me being tired will do that. I
Yeah.
liked it.
I liked it. I'm just happy to like the show. I've said
Me
that
too.
500 times, and that's all I really got. That's my main takeaway from this.
Hell yeah.
I was so it was
Happy
it was
to be here.
such a fucking relief to me to enjoy Star Trek, which I haven't been able to do with this new Star Trek in a while.
Yeah, just laugh. Just laugh for 20 minutes. Just be like, okay, this is charming.
Right.
I'm charmed by this. This is great.
Yeah, I had nothing to
Nerd
no
beefs.
buts. I just enjoyed
Yeah.
it. So I was like,
Yeah.
that's nice.
unambiguous enjoyment. It's a nice thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all I got.
That's all I
Great.
got.
All right, yeah. If you want to join the Patreon for more shit, go to patreon.com/Kickers of Elves. James and Hugh and I are still doing ROA stuff. There's the remix over there, and we're mostly talking about Hell World and what life is like for us in different California and Trump country, Missouri, and where I'm at. So it's more of a that's if you want your black pill content, go over there. But,
Hey, listen to my podcast.
oh,
Folsom Folsom Prison Tunes, which is we're talking about XM did a top 1000 country western songs list, and it's dog shit. So me and a couple of my friends talk about it, and Wade and Glenn haven't been on yet, but you guys sure will be.
Oh right, yeah, we were talking about this.
oh yeah.
A couple of Southerners, gotta have you guys.
Yeah,
on.
right, yeah.
I'm from Texas. I should be able to speak somewhat authoritatively on this.
Glenn, you and as number 42 stated, all my exes. So it's a great song.
Yeah,
one,
I know that song. Yeah.
That's one that belonged up high. That's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
they got mostly right.
So are y'all releasing those already? You're out?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, as of press time, as of
Okay.
record, nothing has been
Okay,
released
because
yet, but I'll let you know.
I'm a shitty friend. I haven't listened to your
No,
podcast yet.
I'll harass you guys when it comes out.
All right.
Please do.
Yeah. No, don't you worry. I will.
I got nothing to plug, just this. I guess, did we even mention what we're calling this particular series of the pod? Should we wait?
This was no. We should spit it out and then we'll correct ourselves.
Then we're locked in. No, we're locked in. Can't change it.
Well, welcome to Under the Bridge. We've been waiting this whole episode for that reveal, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It is the first time we've said it, so
And on top of that,
yeah, I'm doing another theme song. It might be in this episode. It might be in the next episode. I'll let you know when I get it out.
we might
right.
be banking some episodes a little bit at the beginning, but we'll see.
They'll know if we're banking it when they have like 3 days.
Wait, we release it the same day episode 4 comes out.
We're catching up. Look,
fine.
it's a hard time for everyone.
They don't need to know this. This is all soup making sausage over
Yeah,
here.
it is. Yeah, they don't. Come on, they don't want to know how it
Yeah,
gets made.
they'll
They
know
just
if it's
wanna eat it.
banked when they find 3 episodes and it's banked.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
We have a way to close this. Goodbye, everybody.
Can't Picardly wait.
I can't-
For next
Hey!
week.
Hey,
I'm gonna-
Sean,
I'm
that's
gonna-
not.
Hey, on the Scott Aukerman, Adam Scott, you talking U2 to me? Are you talking REM re-me? Are you talking RHCP re-me? And are you talking heads to my talking head? They still sign off with, I hope you find what you're looking for. Which is the U2, which is from the U2.
Right, it's
So I'm
only
just
you
saying.
two.
Well, I think I'm gonna go take a bunch of heroin and nod off.
Well, I was gonna say maybe our sign off should be "We'll see you under the bridge."
Bummer.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah,
Bye.
I tried.
you'll know by the track marks on my arm where I'm at.
Stop.
Too dark. Too dark. Ending
Sorry.
it.
That's what that song's about, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't know what you think he's doing under that bridge, Glenn.
All right. So you're editing this? Thank God.
Sometimes I feel like I just don't get Star Trek. Sometimes I feel like I'm bumming out weight. I don't know DS9, Nemesis TNG. Maybe it's hopeless Discovery Sun. Picard was fine, I guess. Never seen Wrath of Khan. Voyager Enterprise sounds like gibberish. The original series, I guess there's a cartoon. I always wonder where's Star Trek for Sean. Hushing look at lower decks. A funny cartoon references other Trek without pretense.